Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second segment of our podcast, Get This Podcast Cancelled. I'm your host, Michael Morales, here with my co-host,
Ivy Montesinos.
Hope you all are having a good Friday. It's just me and Ivan currently, because we're the only ones who could take time out of our day to do this, but we are here and we are live. Today's issue is racism still a thing in America?
I think I'll start it off. I feel like America isn't racist as it was, let's say, 40 years ago.
Yeah. Compared to like some of the extreme examples we see in AP US history.
No. I don't see as America whole being racist. I see we've come kind of far from that idea. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say slaves, for example.
But let's not get it wrong here. I'm sure there's racist people.
There is racist people. We can't
generalize this.
Yeah, you can't take away racism. You can't take away, bad thoughts. I mean, it's like a idea. You can't sort of like extremists. You can't take away. You can kill an extremist, but there's always going to be another one.
Yeah, exactly.
But same thing with racism. I don't think. What I'm saying is like America as general statement is not racist. Like, it's society and foundation.
Well, honestly, me, like us, both of us actually, like, growing up in the South.
Yeah.
We live in Georgia, and, in this area, in the area that we live in, isn't really, how can I say, it's full of minorities, so, discrimination really isn't an issue here, but, I work in tree removal, and, that has me going up to, some north parts of Georgia, where the area, isn't a minority. And it's I can sometimes feel discriminated, but still welcomed. It's like a hesitant welcoming. It's like
hello, buddy. Come
it was like after a while, the Native Americans and Christopher Columbus. At first it was like, oh hey, it's our friend there, and then after a while, it was like,
I remember
he's back.
I remember a meme. It's like when you establish the First Amendment of freedom of religion. But the Pilgrims come here to force their religion on the Indians. wait a minute.
That's a good one. But as I was saying, I don't think it's genuinely racist. But I've had some instances of discrimination in a way. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like any like.
Yeah, like a
somebody.
White guy.
It wasn't somebody. Just a white guy going at me, calling me a spick and all. It was I was at Applebee's and we had just left.
Yeah.
And I was the last one. My parents were already walking to the car, and I had taken a minute because I wanted to go wash my hands. And I hold the door for like this huge family coming in, right?
Yeah.
They're white. I don't know. I feel like that's sort of what I have to say here to make this story significant. And I held the door for every single one of them. And it was like, they all stared at me like I was an ape holding the door. Like, they've never seen this before. And it was like, and none of them said thank you. And like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Mm-hmm. Holding the door for somebody and just not saying thankful. It's absolutely atrocious.
Yeah. I've had that same scenario, but this time I went to Alabama. We were going to the Kennedy Space Center. Mm-hmm. And we stopped by in Alabama and we were going to Steak and Shake. And I'm getting off, and my family, my mom's Mexican and my dad's Venezuelan. My dad looks white. He was born in New Jersey. Long story short, grandma got pregnant.
Your dad happened to move into the United States a year
No. He moved back to Venezuela at the age of 3 because my grandpa did respect visas of education. He actually did respect it, and he went back. And he never came back to America then, but that's not the point. What happened is you have a white man with, like, my mom, she's pretty white, but she still has that, Hispanic accent that's, So, basically, we walk in, and all you see, and I know for a fact that as a white person, you are not born racist, like, out of the womb. You're not like, Hell Hitler, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a view that like people grow up with.
Yeah.
It's been instilled on them,
Yeah.
Because a little kid is going to play with another little kid because they're both playing the same game. They're both having fun.
Exactly.
It's not until the mom comes in and be like,
no,
you're not supposed to play with him and all. Yeah, I feel like nobody is born racist.
Yeah, no one's born with hate.
Yeah,
it's just created.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's like one of the things. So I walk in the Steak and Shake, right, and all of a sudden all you see is just like 20 like red pink guys looking at you like what the
guys,
fuck are you?
Is that what we're calling them now? Red pink guys.
I mean, it's I'm pretty sure they have my thoughts too, and then like who's this mixed pinto bean right here? You know what I'm saying? like I swear it's not like a thing where I know they're racist, because you can't look at someone and, oh, you're racist just because of the way they look at you. But at the same time, you can like also
you feel it, right?
You feel a sense that you're not welcome.
Like yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you mean.
And
talk about Southern hospitality.
Yeah. But like back to the huge point we were making, I don't think America's racist in the point that like as a whole society views blacks and minorities.
Yeah, it's been a lot more accepting.
Yeah. And I feel like minorities usually tend to blow circumstances all the way up. You know, like no. Check me out. All
right. I'll let you finish.
Let's say like a policeman.
All right.
A white policeman shoots a black man. Right. Mm-hmm. Here we go with like Black Lives Matter and more minority groups hopping on that bandwagon.
I feel you on that. Like I can understand why you're saying those kind of movements are not very
valid.
Yeah, they're not getting much done. But the way I see it, if you kill if a cop kills an unarmed man, that's still messed up.
Of course, that's why they go to jail. That's why.
But I feel like those movements aren't what's going to help. I feel like what is going to help is
non-violence. Like there's a reason why Martin Luther King was killed, but he was so effective. He was so effective without using violence. There's a reason why Malcolm X wasn't as effective.
Do we see protests today using violence?
Well, yeah.
Wait.
Antifa? I mean, like, they're supposedly anti-fascist, but, I mean, you see them, like, with goddamn, like, shields made out of trash can lids. Like, what is this?
Well, I mean, are they doing anything violent, though?
Yes. Yes, they are. They're destroying property. Have you never seen, like, Antifa... like riots and all that? It's disturbing. You're like, wow, this is the American people. Like,
wow, really? I've never even heard of this. From being honest here.
Personally, I feel like nonviolence is the key. However, screaming your point of view to another side is also not the key. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, let's say Black Lives Matter. I tend to believe that all lives matter, and yes, that's a derivative from Black Lives Matter. But it's not to destroy your point of view. It's to believe that everyone is equal. For you to say that white lives matter would be racist, but when I say Black Lives Matter, that's not racist.
Oh yeah, that's a very valid point there, and I feel like that's the kind of movement that should be happening. Mm-hmm. Discrimination amongst all races, because personally, me growing up in a Hispanic family, we were always told like, hey, white people are some pretty fucked up guys.
Yeah,
and. So sometimes I can see what in a way I'm being racist. It is racism.
Yeah, it is racism.
It is racism. Yeah. There's no way around it.
Mm-hmm.
When I say, "Oh my gosh, white people are just messed up people."
Yeah, messed up people.
But and I see what you mean there, and that's why I don't really have that kind of view, and that's why I don't really think racism is much of an issue anymore.
Yeah.
Because sure, those values were instilled upon me, but I have met white people that aren't like that, and most of the white people I do meet, yes, while they are hesitant, talking to me, they're still nice. They talk to me like I'm a decent human,
like
being.
A human.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like sometimes one messes it up for all. Like, let's go back to the past. I mean, blacks had a hard time with slavery and all that. But at the same time, like, one of the things that this is a general statement, because not all black people do this. I know black people that tend to understand that slavery did end almost 200 years ago. You understand, like, but some people still.
But I feel like the memory of the Civil Rights Act, it's still in some people's minds.
But let's say people our age, right? Mm-hmm. They've never ever in their life experienced being in shackles and picking up cotton. Yet, parties and groups usually tend to exploit that and say, like, oh my gosh, slavery is bad. Of course it's bad. We all know it's bad. But, like, at the same time, it's never happened to you. and it's like a disgrace that their grand ancestors did have to, and you're using that as an excuse for you not, striving in the nation. You understand? Like, oh, I wasn't served this because I'm black or I'm Hispanic. You understand? I mean, that's one of the things I notice in, like, our community and the Hispanic community is the thought that America doesn't do enough for us, Mm-hmm. America is run by white people. America is racist against us. America hates all Hispanics, and that's not the case. I mean, I think it's like a misconception that's thrown around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like welfare, let's be honest. Like welfare is one of the big issues right now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, can you like? There's jokes around that like welfare is being abused by black people, but I've seen statistics. It's like I think off by one.
I feel like if anybody had welfare, I feel like they'd use it because why not?
Yeah, why not? It's like
I know a lot of people who actually get an EBT card and stuff and literally go and just ball out on snacks.
Exactly. And I mean, and it's sad to believe that works. Like it happens like that, but it's honest, right? I mean, but back to the point I was saying, the statistics. Not all black people. Like wait. Let me rephrase that. 38%, I think it's 30-something%. I'm not going to give you an exact number, but it was in the 30s. Almost, I think it's like by like 1 or 2% that whites use welfare, close to blacks use welfare. And I mean, it's like, yeah, blacks do use welfare, but not as a significant rate, Yeah. But then at the same time, there's 13% of black people in the U.S. And there's like 47% of white people in the U.S. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, what does that show you? You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's bring up crime rates in the black community. I feel like the black community right now is suffering through a thing that I feel like the civil rights is ashamed of. Like, let's say going back to the 60s. The 60s would have been so ashamed of present day right now, because like blacks 13% of the U.S. population, but have like 50% in crime. Like, what? How? Right? And yeah, you can make up excuses like, oh, maybe he was just carrying weed and he got locked up. But I mean, you still have to respect law. You know? You understand? Do I think that you should get locked up for carrying weed? Of course not. I don't think it's like a high enough like crime.
You're not worth it.
Yeah, I do feel like if it's against the law, it's against the law. I'm sorry, you can't break the law because you feel like
nobody is above the law. You
exactly,
know what I'm saying?
Exactly, and that's like what I was trying to get to. I mean, I feel like that's one of the reasons why minorities believe that they're being like attacked by the majority. You understand?
Yeah, and I feel like, a lot of people say, like court rulings are incredibly unfair, but I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say it's completely unfair in the sense that, minorities can't afford the best lawyers, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so their case isn't fought as well as somebody, who does come from that background.
Well,
but here, look, okay. let's use this, for instance, the OJ case, right?
Mm-hmm.
A man who did have the wealth and did have the lawyers could do it, right?
Yeah,
he got off.
Yeah.
And so, but if you're somebody who's white and you can't afford a good lawyer, you're pretty much gonna be treated like everybody else.
I mean, we see this also that you have a privilege economically because you get a better lawyer, right? Mm-hmm. But at least be glad that you have a lawyer present. Because that's one of our rights. We get a lawyer present. Mm-hmm. If we can't afford one, we get...
Well, if I'm being honest, public defendants are most of them are fresh out of college, and they have way too many cases on their hands to, really
Would you like to defend yourself? Would you like to defend yourself with your opinion or someone else's fact?
Well, I mean, it's not very good facts, but yes, facts.
Exactly. Yeah, you can come out of college and stuff, but I still like a lawyer, defending my case than... myself. I might say something that's illegal there, but I mean it's like Oh no, our system in the U.S. I feel like is way better than, let's say, South America's system. You are guilty until you are proven innocent, right? Mm-hmm. Here, it's you're innocent until proven guilty. You understand?
I feel like in some ways that's not really true.
You're
like for some rape cases, if with the Mike Kavanaugh case, a lot of people were already giving him, a tremendous amount of hate.
Oh yeah.
And it was guilty until proven innocent.
Well, yeah, and like yet again, it comes back because he's a white man. Because he's a white man, he forces his privilege and because he's a male, he forces his privilege against the woman. I mean,
but I feel like that's with any rape case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like, hear me out. Once he got inside, right, the woman came out and said, "Oh, you know what? It was a false statement." Like, what? What? How? Why would you do that, right? And personally, do you think that women should get prison time for falsely accusing a man? Because that's also, I mean, that also ties in.
Because I feel like that's reasonable.
That but also ties into like, not only is America racist, is America sexist? I don't think America's sexist. There's a reason why women graduate more than men. There's a reason why women make more than men.
And here when you get into sexism, it gets into this whole wage gap thing.
Wage gap doesn't exist.
Yeah. And here's my thing. It's like more males are likely to get into the STEM fields.
Oh yeah.
Which are very, very high paying.
Yeah.
A lot of 6-figure jobs out there.
Yeah.
But a lot of females don't have that ambition,
They go to sociology or psychology.
Exactly.
And I mean.
And then they get like a fucking bachelor's degree in like Ben
gender
Sharpio said.
In gender
Ben
study.
Sharpio said fucking lesbian dance theory, and expect to be making 6-figure jobs. It's not how it works,
Yeah, and I mean, if you see it, I'm disgusted because people actually believe that. They actually do believe that women like are paid less than men, and it's sad. Want to know why? Because it makes no sense. Because if I paid a woman, what did they say now? 83 cents or something? I don't even know. Like 73 cents less than what a man makes for $1. Some BS bullshit right there, right? Right. So they say that, and you're like, well, if I could pay a woman less, no, for the same amounts of work and the same quality of work, why don't I just hire all women?
Exactly.
Like, that makes no sense to me. Why would I hire a man if I could hire a woman that does the same quality of work?
For less. Exactly.
And like, they can't answer that because they're just like, well, you see, no, you're a sexist.
No,
and you're like, wait.
No, it's more like, because if you did that, you'd take all the male jobs away.
Exactly. But then at the same time, you're like, that makes no sense. Like,
yeah, exactly. Business doesn't give a crap who's male, who's female. I mean, it's just about saving the numbers.
Business doesn't give a crap who does the work. I mean, we could have seen that with child labor. I mean,
yeah, exactly. It's whatever gets the job done for less.
Exactly. And like, we really don't care who's in the office place. And it's like one of those, also yet again, a misconception and lies told by the media and lies told by I literally thought wage gap existed because they painted an idea that women were like this destroyed foundation in which they're always subjected to some type of, I don't know, catcalling piece of crap boss in the office. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hey, sweetie, you got a big honka-donka right there.
Honka-donka.
Like, what the hell? Like, I've never seen this. And personally, have you seen court cases where a woman accuses a man of rape and she actually does get jail time, but for like 6 months? Mm-hmm. But a guy that is falsely accused could like serve a whole life until a woman says, you know what? It was a false statement. Like, what the fuck is that? That's and they say male.
That's like fucking that's career ending. That's life ruining.
Yes, and they say male privilege exists. What the hell? What the hell? Like, I mean, okay. I mean, one of the things that feminists usually, like, poke around, like, I don't like personally, is the idea that women biologically are the same as a man, you know? You know what I'm saying, though. Yeah. Like, they would argue that, why is a man supposed to be a CEO all the time? Like, that's not the case. It's that women get pregnant during their, like, 20s and 30s stages, and that's where, like, you know, you get promotions. That's when promotions start buzzing up, and then they start ranking up in the ladder. The guys, because they can't get pregnant, right? It's impossible. So they keep ranking up until they reach a high position. And then women are,
so blame God.
So blame God. Basically, blame God. But, blame the baby daddy. But what I'm saying is, like, if it's a tough position for women also. I mean, yeah, you're not supposed, like, if you don't want to have a kid, don't have a kid. But don't blame a guy because you have a kid. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, and here's a serious question for you. Because, like, this is one of the things that I question myself. Should a woman be paid when she has a baby? Like, let's say,
like she gets, like, paid off. Like,
let's say, you know, I'm not gonna give an actual name. Let's say Miss K. Yeah, right. She had a child, but she was still paid. Mm-hmm. But she did barely any work. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I feel like, how can I say, when you put it like that, it doesn't sound fair.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, it's like another right women have. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. But, so, would that be a privilege?
I feel like it's lenient, but then it's also a privilege. You know
I feel like it's a privilege because I mean, yeah, you have a little meat person inside you for 9 months, but like, you know what I'm saying?
You can tell by our opinions, dude. We do not value human life or anything. Like,
no.
Our fucking approach to everything is so.
I value life. I value what pro-choice calls a fetus. I value as a baby, but when I say meat person,
dude, thinking about abortion, it's like, you know, sometimes they take the thing out, like the fetus and all, but they don't use the vacuum. They like cut body parts off and then pull it out,
like hands and legs.
Yeah, and I'm just like, holy fuck, that's
fucked up.
That shit's human.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when. Like, one of the things I have against, actually, when we said about our...
That brings up a question.
Go ahead, D. Ask your question.
Alright, if a doctor is pro-life, should he have the option to not operate?
Yeah, of course. Of course. If he has, like, it's like me, let's say I want to make a cake, and I'm goddamn so Christian, I have Jesus tattooed on my nutsack. Like that.
I don't think a Christian would get Jesus Christ.
So, but let's like
his nutsack tattooed.
Let's just say I am so Christian, right? And I'm a baker, and I make cake, right? A Satanist walks in and was like, "Dude, I want fucking Satan on a cake, fucking demons."
Fucking demons.
And the Christian baker is gonna like. I mean, he's obviously has a choice to be like, "Dude."
I'm not making a fucking cake.
I'm not going to bake you a fucking cake. Or, I mean, that's a discussion because he's offering a service, right? You give him money, he gives you the service, right? So, same thing as a doctor. You give him the money, he gives you the service. If he declines the service, you just don't pay him and just find another doctor that will. You understand? Mm-hmm. I don't feel like doctors should be demonized if they don't want to perform abortion. I mean, personally, like, I want to be a doctor. But if they had the choice to tell me, Ivan, if you perform this abortion, I will give you $500,000. I'd still choose no, because morally that's wrong. It's like killing a person, right? And I mean, when one of the things that pro-choice has that I never see is when do you draw the line when that person becomes a person, right? Because they don't think it's a person.
So,
right?
like, how long is it? Let me see. All right, but keep talking.
But like, you understand, like, there was a debate where until the baby breathes, right? Mm-hmm. So you're telling me a 9-month-old baby inside the womb and you stab it is not a human? Like what? Huh? How is that? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like, when do you draw the line? How do you start? When does life start, and when is life not there, right? Mm-hmm. When is it sentient? Correct?
Yeah.
And should you kill it if it's not sentient? Because, like, let's say you're in a coma, correct? Right? You're potentially sentient. You can potentially come out of the coma.
I'm saying 20 weeks here.
20 weeks?
Yeah, that's the latest in Georgia.
Abortion services. Oh no!
Wow,
see,
yeah, we had a bunch of ads searching it up.
Georgia abortion clinics.
A lot of people are eager to get on our abortion here.
I mean, here's the thing. Potential sentient. That's one of the discussions they talk about. Like, should I kill you if you're in a coma?
I mean,
can I stab? Wait,
you don't wake up in time.
Can I stab you? Can I stab you if you're in a coma?
No.
Exactly. Why will I not stab or kill, in this case, a baby? A fetus, I should refer to. A fetus. It's potentially sentient, right? Uh-huh. It's potentially sentient. You understand?
Yeah.
So, like, what happens there? It's potentially sentient, so you can't. And then they draw the line with heartbeats until it has a heartbeat, correct? Mm-hmm. And then you're like, well, old people need pacemakers to keep their hearts going.
Yeah.
So, would you kill an old man with a pacemaker? That doesn't make any sense, correct? Mm-hmm. So, like, what I'm saying is, like we said before, if you get raped, wait, here's the thing. When pro-choice uses rape as an abortion excuse, it's disgusting.
Wait, hold on. I'd have to disagree with you there.
I
think
okay, you can disagree. It's disgusting for two reasons. 99% of all abortion is not rape. Only 1%. 1% of abortion reasons is rape. But that 1% reason is where pro-choice decides to explode. Where, so you're saying if a woman gets raped, she can't have an abortion? I'm like, no. You're explaining to me the worst possible scenario for a woman, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, that's the worst thing that could happen, mm-hmm. right? And it's 1%. What's the how many abortions in the U.S. take place a year? And then take 1% of that, and it's
All right, let's see. Per year. In 2014, 652,000. Yikes! 1% of that is like 6,000.
Exactly my point. So if you take that and you're like, what the hell? Like, what? Mm-hmm. Like, yes, it's so sad 6,000 people had to go through that. But then at the same time, like...
Well, around 6,000.
600,000 people still thought that for those 6,000 people, their reason is excuse. Which is bullshit, personally. And you said you're disagreeing on me, but you give your voice, because I...
Okay, well, I mean, I disagreed with you in this. Well, okay, I really didn't understand what you meant there. Mm-hmm. When you said it was disgusting, I thought you meant it was like that. That's not an excuse at all. No, but me personally, I believe if you're raped, you have the right to get an abortion, right? That's your choice completely there. But you're
still killing a human, personally. To my belief, you're still killing a human.
Yeah, you're still killing somebody.
Have a choice there.
But I feel like then you have a say in the matter. Because it wasn't your choice to have it in the first place.
Yeah.
And so, when you brought up that whole 1% thing and how they try to justify that for the majority, then, now I agree with you there, but I thought you meant disgusting in the sense that it's not an excuse at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But no, I agree with, like, pretty much everything you just said right now.
And then, wow, I mean.
All right. Before we've branched out into a good number of topics.
We branch out too quickly. I feel we branch out too quickly.
All right. Going back to the very. We'll get to all this stuff later. Trust me.
Is America racist?
We have 1 hour special.
Is America racist? No, because my favorite rapper is black.
Well, yeah. Actually, that's a good point you brought up there. It was a Lil Wayne interview where they try to get him to support the Black Lives Matter movement, right?
Yeah.
But he said, when I go out to these shows, I'm not just seeing, black kids. I'm seeing white kids. I'm seeing all sorts of kids.
Yeah.
And so he's like, no, like I don't believe racism is like a thing.
Yeah.
Because people from everywhere are coming out to support me at my shows, and I'm like, hey, that's a pretty very
pretty
valid
good point. Yeah. I think
if it was racist, it was like
just black people.
Just only people who are fine with his race. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I think Travis Scott had something to say about Black Lives Matter, and he disagreed.
My favorite artist.
Travis disagreed on Black Lives Matter, and then we have that mentality where, as a whole, America can't be racist because we're taught in school that, oh my God, if you're a racist, you are a fucking Satan, right?
Yeah, you're a Satanist.
Yeah, and so I don't know. He goes, I don't think America's moving in a bright way, but I think people that admit that America is racist destroys the point that, America still has a long way, because these people still think that America's racist, and those people who think America's racist are the true racists sometimes, because they say, oh yeah, because white people enslaved my grandparents. I'm like, well, I'm not your grandmaster, right? You understand? I wasn't the one who put shackles on you. Even if it was my grandpa that put shackles on you, man, fuck that grandpa. Fuck him. But I hope you burn in hell, right? But then at the same time, I'd be like, dude, if it was for me right now, I wouldn't put you in shackles. Exactly. I mean, here is one of the things that destroys, a point of view that sometimes is brought up, is that America is racist, but then it also because white people gave Jim Crow and black codes to, destroy black community and black rights and all that. Yeah, that was horrible. Yeah, real bad stuff. Horrible stuff, and it can't be justified, but we moved on, correct?
Yeah,
we moved on.
Fact today and all.
Yeah, we moved on, and I feel like people lost themselves in what's more effective. Mm-hmm. We can go to the Colin Kaepernick thing, kneeling for the anthem because of, what was it, a police brutality protest? But why would you kneel for the anthem? The anthem is not even related to the cops.
I feel like it's he's rebelling against the nation, which is
that's so stupid. I think it's more effective if I fucking kneel down near a police station rather than a fucking game.
Who the fuck is watching you at a police station? Why not at a football game?
What? Why at a football game? Because I came to the football game to watch football, not watch a man kneel down and be like,
exactly.
I protest.
Which is what makes it so powerful, because football. If you guys have been living under a rock, football is big in America, and so a lot of people are watching.
So okay, let's bring this up. I walk in, and I invite you to come into my house, right? You come into my house, and you fucking kneel. When I don't know what I'm doing. Let's say I'm fucking praying, right? I'm like, yes, thank you God for my jelly beans, right? And you're like, you fucking kneel. I mean, I would respect that, because but you're in my fucking house. What are you doing? If you want to kneel, that's the NFL's reaction, right? You understand? Because NFL is a private place. Yeah, the public sees it. It's still private though. It's still private corp. You understand? Mm-hmm. You can't do whatever you want to. There's rules and regulations and most of these these rules and all this. Oh, but one of these things is that Colin Kaepernick had was, he could have done it, but he should have done it better. You understand? I'm not destroying his point of view of kneeling down for the anthem. I'm just saying that he should have done it more effectively and in like a different like viewpoint. You understand?
Yeah.
Like if he would have kneeled down, let's say at a police station, and he would have sat down there, it would have been more effective, personally.
All right.
You know?
Alright, and so going back to the whole thing, actually a funny story my mom told me. Well, when my mom like first moved out to Georgia, you know, like 20 years ago and all, and she you know, Georgia wasn't what it is today. You know, it was a lot more rural, and you know, she told me that you know the neighbors were racist. You know, because they grew up. You know, they were old people at the time. You know, they lived throughout that time period where racism, you know, was the norm. And they, you know, she told the funny twist of it. She's like, they're all dead now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like new people moved in who don't have those views.
Yeah.
And well, yeah, it's normal. If you're racist, you're fucked up. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's normal to not be racist.
But I mean, that's one of the things I don't think. It's just tough. What's the quote that Candace Owens is a black conservative? I look up to her because she makes sense and she brings up like the black community and all its problems, and she makes valid points, right? And I think in her Instagram she's like, I can tell it to you, I can explain it to you, but I can't make you understand it. You understand?
Yeah.
Like I can explain it to you, but I can't make you understand what I'm saying. Because, you know, some people don't, when I say something or when anybody says something, they don't like to be wrong. No one likes to be wrong, right?
Yeah.
No one likes for their point of views to be destroyed or invalidated, right? And that's like one of the things that I see that takes place. And right now, because, like I said, America's divided up into factions, and they get even smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller.
You know, actually, that brings up something we've been doing in AP American language, and that's like, do you know who Sherman Alexie is?
No.
Oh well, Sherman Alexie is a Native American, right? Who became an author now, and he talks about tribalism, right?
Yeah. And
he describes the tribe as, you know, anybody. He's like people when they think of tribe, they think of, you know, a group of you know, fucking nomadic people, you know what I'm saying? That's what they think of. But he described tribalism as something more, and it was like a group of people with common interests, right? And then it was like, he was like, you know, why do you think it's a coincidence that 83% of Republicans are white, you know?
Yeah.
It was like, and so what you mean by that, like factions, everybody is becoming their own tribes with their own beliefs, you know, we have, you know, the Black Lives Matter tribe, we have White Lives Matter tribe, you know?
I don't think that's
no, but I'm just saying,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know
it's like groups of people with their own beliefs,
yeah,
and all.
your own groups.
And, you know, that's just dividing America even more, you know what I'm saying?
You know, I think we should include in our podcast a little, like, when we come out, we should include, like, a little fun statement there. Let's go, do you know who Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is?
No, fuck no.
Let's search her up, and let's see through the beautiful memes of the internet and see what's popping today. I mean, this is a Democrat.
All right, well, what's it?
Alexandria. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
There it is.
First one. Alrighty. I don't love picking on people, but I love the memes. So, oh yeah, you forgot to put the memes.
Yeah. So, what's the significance here?
Well,
ask not what you can do for your country. Demand your country provide free education, free healthcare, shelter, universal job guarantees, rainbows, unicorns, and lollipops.
No. Ask not what you can do for your country is a quote from Kennedy, and but basically she's a democratic socialist, and she was voted in. I have no problem with the voting system, except Jesus Christ, guys, we messed up, guys. Come on. Like, I mean, there's a video there's a video where
Democrats 1961 picture of John F. Kennedy. Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. Democrats 2018 with the picture of Alexandria. Free shit.
No, but there's like a meme where, like, a video. She's like, the Democrats are fighting so hard for the 3 sections inside of Congress. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, the 3 branches of government. We have the executive, the Senate, and House of Representatives. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dun, dun, the curve your meme. And I'm like, wait, House of Representatives? Everything I mean, our next segment should be about Israel. I want to talk about Israel. Like Palestine and Israel and all that. I really want to talk about that because I have my point of views. I feel like it doesn't tie in what we're talking right now because America is racist. Wait, let's go also and back to our serious thing because we should have like a funny statement. Let's just all agree that Alexandria Cortez has some thinking to do. Yes, I'm 16, but Jesus Christ. When you believe socialism works, wait a minute, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I feel like to end this, the like a huge, to summarize basically in this 19 minutes that we have left, America is not racist because America is not racist. There you go. ... End quote. End quote. Oh wait, here's a question for you. Do you think Trump's racist?
Do I think Trump is racist?
He can be insensitive, but I don't think he's racist.
I think he's pretty racist.
I don't think he's racist.
I genuinely think Donald Trump is racist.
I don't think he's racist, dog. I think he's insensitive, but he's not racist. I don't think he can be racist. Cause like let's go to like pictures. Wait. Like with Trump and Muhammad Ali, yeah, one black person doesn't approve of him not being racist, but like come on, man.
What is fucking Muhammad Ali?
Exactly.
Get the fuck out.
Like, look at this. Are you telling me that
and again, that was before,
Before what?
His fucking presidency, you know what I'm saying? Where a lot of this controversial stuff did start happening. Because really, who really gave a shit about Donald Trump and what he did before, Yeah, sure.
Donald Trump was a Democrat before, but, the Democrats started beating him up once he changed to Republican. I'm just saying. I'm putting that out there. I'm just putting that out there. But look at this. Like, okay, yeah. But, I mean, at the same time, look at this. Like, I'm pretty sure Trump, invited 300 black conservatives to the White House. What? How? Huh? Yeah. Sometimes, to end that, I think he's insensitive, but I don't think he's racist. He can be insensitive and say shit that's dumb as fuck.
What if he's just cool with black people but just hates Hispanics?
Trump putting panic back in Hispanic.
You never hear him say anything about black people. He's always about Hispanics.
Well,
dude,
here's a crazy theory.
There was that one video snippet of him just going, look at my African American over there. And then people just insert funny black person dance.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is here's my theory. Maybe because black people can vote, Hispanic people not so much because they're not citizens. Think about it.
How about it? That's
theory.
Pretty
good theory.
Pretty good theory there.
That's a pretty good theory. Yeah.
Hey, we speaking truths here.
We speaking truths.
It is Get This Podcast Cancelled. So if you guys ever feel you just hate us and want to report us,
just call the police. Call the police. No. Call the police. Say it's a hate crime. Call us neo-Nazis or whatever. Slander us. I don't care. Call my mom. Tell her how much of a
report us. Do whatever. But hey, if this podcast gets canceled, we win. We win.
We win at the end of the day.
This is the end game.
This is the end game.
This is
the whole point. This is the whole point. Actually, I also wanted to talk to you about like your. What was the reason? What was the push to make this podcast? Because I mean, you texted me at like, I don't know, 10 p.m. at night, and you're like, dude, want to make a podcast? I was like, yo, that'd be nice. Yeah. But then we steered off. But what I'm saying is like, what gave you that push?
Okay, so it was actually in AP Physics, and we were sitting at our table. And then we were just talking about really funny. Actually, what gave me the whole idea on controversial things to talk about was we were talking about God and why God doesn't like gay people. And it was like, special guest Marines. Anyways,
oh wow, whoa! If we could have a Marine come in here,
dude, not right now, dude. This is me explaining our story.
Come back.
And so. We were talking about why God doesn't like gay people, and then Eric, one of the guys there, he was like, because God is gay, and then I added God's gay, God's homophobic because he's scared of love, right? He's scared to find his other lovers, so he abolishes them all the hell. But that just gave me the idea. I was like, hey. This is funny, we were talking about that, and I still actually have that recording, but it's a little too explicit for me to share.
Yeah.
Anyways, and it was funny. It was really fun, and I enjoyed doing it. And so I was like, hey, what if I make this
a regular thing?
What if I make this a regular thing, but take it a little more seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Which is why the podcast isn't what the podcast was in that classroom.
We need some sound effects. Because each time I say, like, fuck, we need a beep right there. Yeah, so this turns into a PG thing instead of a...
We can do that.
Yeah, because, like, Jesus Christ, man. when we said something so inaccurate...
Like, literally 30 minutes of the audio, like, beep.
Beep. Your mother is a beep.
But... Alright, you guys, I think we're going to take a 5-minute recording break.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll just trim this off the end. Because... Wait, alright. We're going to trim this in between, but let's just summarize racism in America, and then we'll be back for the next
America isn't racist because of how society is
in present day. Yeah. And that's our opinion on it. Feel free to disagree. Start your own podcast. Send us the link if you have opposite opinions. And
if you guys want to come on...
Yes. Actually, yeah, we'll do this over like a Discord call or something like that.
Yeah. If you guys want to come on, please, we'd love
guests.
Yeah.
Your opinion will be heard. Your voice will be heard.
Unless you're a libtard, then
no.
I mean, I'm sorry.
You'll be heard.
It'll be heard, but I won't admit it. I'll see you.
I'll see you guys after the break. Insert sponsor ad here.
Trojan.